Hi everyone, I'm Chandler.
I'm Ryan.
And welcome to episode 13 of our podcast called
Turning to Truth.
Hi everyone, welcome back.
Welcome back.
There has been this problem where when Ryan and I start filming, we just can't stop laughing.
We get the giggles.
So sorry if this sounds a little unserious. It is.
Yeah, we'll lock in for you guys.
Anywho, it's day 37 out of our 55 soft challenge. And our thing just keeps getting longer.
Yeah.
But it's been great.
It has. It's been hard.
It's been harder lately. I don't know why. I think we are just a lot busier.
We're busier
than we were before.
And it's not top of mind anymore. So some days something might slip.
Yeah, but we've
forget
really been trying to get everything. I think the thing that slipped our mind the most is the walk.
Yeah.
Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. But lately we've been back on track.
Yep.
So it's good. And also happy Valentine's Day week.
Yeah.
Week.
Happy Valentine's week.
Happy Valentine's week. Yeah, we just
There's the
decorated because why not? And a couple updates. Ryan and I answered a prayer, gotten into Bible studies
Yeah.
within our church. So he's in the men's and I'm in the women's.
It's been so good.
It's been so good. We've met so many great people. We honestly, I can speak for myself by saying it's something I didn't know I needed. And it's just been super great. We're so grateful that God was able to provide us with such great life groups.
Yeah, the wisdom and the fellowship has been great. And I'm a shy person, so this is really my first time ever joining like a life group in a church. I'm also like somewhat still of a new believer, so I haven't, been connected to too many churches. But yeah, this is the first time joining one for me, and I guess I just highly recommend it. At least for me, it's been such a great experience so far.
Yeah, it's been really great. And it's fun to go to church now and we know people.
Yes.
Everywhere. So
yeah, I used to just go to church and then just leave and like not really connect with anyone. But now it's been fun to try to meet everyone and get involved.
Yeah, it's been really great. So that's a fun little update. This week, Ryan it was on his heart. He brought it to me a couple of days ago and he's like, I have all these thoughts. I really want to do our next podcast about being grateful and being content in the moment. And so that's what this week's podcast is on. It's been really on our heart lately, just gratitude, just enjoying life exactly where we are right now. And then we literally went to church and the sermon was about that. And we were like, oh my gosh, yes. So we got some good stuff from that we want to share and just honestly just break down how we feel about gratitude, how we feel about just living in the moment and not letting the future or the past, we live in that.
Yeah, it's been something I've always been aware of for, I would say, a long time now, probably even back during high school when I would let the Monday ruin my Sunday because I had the Sunday scaries.
Yeah.
I was dreading school so bad that it ruined my weekend almost. And that's the living in the future, not the present. But recently, it was probably a little over a week ago because we already had a podcast film, Chandler's and Carly's, which was great. But I was in the shower, I had all these thoughts and just talking to myself in my head, I guess. I don't know if that's normal, but
no, it is.
Yeah, and I was just man, this is good stuff. I'm thinking of so many great things I could say, these pieces of wisdom. So I was almost wanting to just film a short video of me just talking to you guys.
I want to put up my phone and post it real quick, and I was like, do it.
It seems so random, but it's just a video of me just talking real quick. But then I decided no, let's do a full podcast on this. So I just all those thoughts I had, I journaled them, and then I worked with Chandler to put together a good outline. And then the next church sermon was really exactly what we were talking about because we stayed up late that night talking it over too, and Chandler was having some great snippets to say as well, and we were like, wow, this is good stuff. And then the sermon was about it, and it's just crazy. So we're like, yeah, we definitely need to talk about this. So hope you guys can get something from it. Something I definitely struggle with, even though I've been so aware of it for so long, I still fall victim to being ungrateful.
Yeah, and I think we want to go into talking about it even more broader than just dreading the day before. Dreading something that's going to happen the day before. We kind of dread the season we're in because we're so excited for the next season. Or dreading the season we're in because maybe not dreading it, but just so focused on what's about to happen. And we really sat down and we talked for so long about it because we were like, oh my gosh, we've kind of been doing that. We were so excited to get married that we were literally counting down the days to get married. Got married. So excited to
get the house.
counting down the days and then not even living in the moment of where we were at. And then same thing with just other things going on, like so excited, looking forward to something, like want to count down instead of just being present in the season we're in. Because then we sat down and we were like, oh my gosh, we're gonna look back when we have kids or when we have way more responsibilities than we do now, and we're gonna just be like, oh, that was such a good time, wish we could go back to that time.
Yeah.
And so we just really want to discuss like how important it is to just embrace and be content with where you're at now, because that's exactly where God wants you to be.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we were falling victim to that a lot. Like being excited's good, but we were like, I found myself being like, oh, I want this to come already, so I want like the days to pass fast. And then I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Like we're young, I shouldn't be wanting days to pass because time's so precious.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
In Matthew 6:34, it says, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. And just, I don't know, there's all this.
Live in the present.
Yeah, live in the present.
moment.
There's so many like things we can focus on, like what we were just saying, or something exciting that's coming in. It's exciting to like look towards something, but we really struggle with that. And we're in such a precious phase of life where we'll never get this back. How old we are right now. Ooh, what was the thought that we were having? We go to the gym every day because of this challenge. I was like telling Ryan, I looked around the gym the other day and there was like no young people our age.
Like it was mostly old people.
It was so many old people. And then I told him I had the thought of like, are there so many old people because they realize they're old? And what was it?
It was that they took their youth for granted.
Yeah, you take your youth for granted and they're like, oh, I need to get back in the gym again because I didn't realize how good it is for me. And maybe there's so many old people because it's hard for young people to realize just being able to have the ability to be young enough to do a squat. I don't know. It's a deep thought, but we can do so many things with our bodies with being so young that maybe there are so many old people in the gym because they realized late. I mean, you don't know, but that was my first thought that came to mind. And I was like, oh, it's so precious that we can even function.
Yeah.
When
like
you get older, everything hurts.
they have to work just to be able to move good.
That's big and broad, but don't take right now for granted. And Ryan and I were like, we can't do that because it's such a precious time in our lives.
Yeah. I think a big theme, a piece that can help us and that relates to a lot of aspects of life is just your mindset, because the human brain is so strong. We've all heard of like the placebo effect and kind of getting tricked by your brain. I guess it came from like if there's a pill and it's called a placebo because it doesn't actually do anything, but if you're told it does something and you believe it does something, then you actually like feel like it does something. So that's just an example of how strong the brain is. People say all the time, if you can do anything you put your mind to, your mindset really shapes your reality. We were talking about this the other day, how there's just people who are so positive about everything, and then there's people who are so negative about everything in life. And that's a mindset right there. That's a switch you can flip.
Yeah.
And that goes into being grateful. Philippians 4 verse 8 says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. And that goes to show the mindset, like put your mind to all those great things you have in life, not put your mind to all the negative things that are going on in your life.
Exactly.
Think about the positive there. And you see that there in Philippians.
Like you having a roof over your head. I'll just bring this up. We found like this little dog park behind our house and we were so excited about it because we were like, that's a dog park. We don't even have one around us. Like, that's so cool. And it was like an innocent, cute moment. And it's ratty. It is a ratty little dog park, but the fact Ryan and I were so joyful and so excited about it, that's how big and grateful you have to be about the littlest things in life that may not even seem like such a big deal, but we're so grateful for them. Like this house.
Right.
We're so happy to have a roof over our head when there's people out there who are rubbing dimes together to make things work. Just little things in life, like this couch. It was gifted to us.
Yeah.
Like, thank God we have it, because this is where we podcast, and we're so grateful to have it. And is it brand new? No. And like, did Ryan's parents have it for years? And
we put a little blanket over it?
Yeah, we put a blanket over it, like
the coloring a little.
But we're so grateful to have that.
Yeah.
And
we use it.
And we use it. And we'd be sitting on the floor right now if we didn't have it. It's those type of things that you have to change your mindset to really, really appreciate the things that you have. And I think social media destroys that.
Oh, yeah.
Because you look at all these amazing, nice things that people have and you just think you have to have it. And once you have it, you'll just be so happy. But when you get it, that happens to me. I just got a pair of running shoes and I was looking forward to getting them for days and days and days. And I got them and I'm like, these are literally just, they're great. And I'm so grateful to have them, but they're just shoes. Like, why was I like, so like, I need to have them. I need to have them. It just is, it's not that deep. You just be grateful I'm even able to get shoes because some people don't get to have them.
Yeah. That was so good. I think you just brought up like 5 amazing points and I want to break them down a little. So first, I think where you were going with it, like the big trap and sin is comparison and envy. Like when you were talking about being grateful for a roof over our head or a house, well, that gratitude can go away if we're comparing it to other things. Like we see this really nice house on Zillow and we're like, oh, I wish I had that. Like I wish I had a bigger house. I wish I had this size yard. I wish I had a pool. Blah blah blah, like then that will take away your gratitude because there are people comparing to what you have and envying that, like just wanting a house in general.
Yeah.
Or like that's an example. So comparison and envy is a huge thing to get rid of in your life. The second point Shaylee brought up was social media. That is a big fuel to that fire. That is like the gold mine of comparison because that's really all you see and do when you're doom scrolling is you're just looking, you might be comparing. And then she was talking about being so excited for something, but then once you have it, you lose gratitude towards it.
Yeah.
And that is a big one. I fall victim to that a lot. Social media also feels that, all the influencers, because you see something on there and you're like, I have to have it. Because you see it or they're telling you you have to have it. And that's a big one. It's very, very common. Like, honestly, it happens like every time. I'm so excited, whether it's to get an item, I'm so excited to get it. I finally get it and then I kind of forget about it or like that anticipation goes away.
It's like it's like a cycle. Like you want something really badly, you get it, and then you stop appreciating it.
Yeah, you go for the next thing.
And then you chase the next dopamine hit. It's a cycle. And when I really think about it, I do that so much. And I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah.
If you really think about how much you do it, which I did, that makes me sad because they're just things that pile up like you don't need them.
Yep. And it's not even things too. But yeah, we're always chasing what we want next. Yeah. And it could be like a trip. Like after you get back from your trip, then you're just thinking like, oh, now I want to go to Mexico. Yeah. Whatever.
Instead of just being grateful, you just went somewhere.
Or events. Like if you, I don't know, went on a date and then you want to do another, I don't know, it's just like you constantly are chasing the next,
or unsatisfied,
the next want. Yeah. And when you get what you want so bad, like you could really like be dreaming of something, you finally get it, and then like it's just like, okay, next.
Oh my gosh, he won't mind us sharing this, but that happened to, and maybe it happened to you too.
Probably.
We've probably
I'm
talked
telling
about
you, this happens to me all the time.
But our good friend Colin, we like sat and talked about this like way when it happened, but when the men's volleyball team in college won the national championship, him and I were just chatting about it later on after they had won, and he was like, that was literally like my goal in life. That was my biggest goal, and I just wanted it so badly, and I obviously, like, you guys all worked so hard to get it. And he goes, and now I have it, and it's like, what? Like, okay, try and find the next thing. Like, it ended up not being that great. Obviously, it was amazing they won, but the feeling was underwhelming because of how overwhelming you made it out to seem. And you made it your everything. And it's obviously an amazing thing that you guys did that. And I mean, I've never won a national championship, so I don't know how it feels to win it, but I'm sure it was amazing. But then it's just like over.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's done.
And that is the big danger of chasing worldly things. And Michael Phelps, I think, fell into depression because the similar thing. I mean, dude won so many gold medals.
We talked about that.
Yeah. And it's a great reminder that like none of what you have on earth goes up with you to heaven. So you don't want to be collecting like treasures on earth. You want to be collecting treasures in heaven. And this is a good verse I have picked out for this. It's Matthew 6, verse 19 through 21. It says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moths and vermin destroy and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven where moths and vermin do not destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." That's where your heart is. If you're chasing these treasures, well, guess what? Your heart is in that treasure. If you're just focused winning a sport, well, that's where your heart is. Versus if you're focused about serving God, glorifying Him, making heaven crowded, that's where your heart is. Your heart's in the right spot. It's a call out just to myself even saying this because it happens so much to me.
Yeah, and when I lived in California, I did it so much. Like, I felt like super materialistic, or like I needed the nicest thing, or I wanted to like posts that I was doing this or that, to be feeling like I'm like all the other cool people that post. And now I'm just in a place where I'm sad I was so materialistic or acting so opportunistic. I don't even know if that's a word, but that is so pointless, because the only thing that ever really feels fulfilling and like I don't have to refill my cup up with some sort of dopamine is Jesus.
Yep.
Really realizing true contentment through Christ and not feeling so I need something else. And this was a realization Ryan and I just had these last couple of days. So I mean, we've really been trying to shift our brains to be so grateful for just the things that we have instead of the things we want or the things that we're envying that we see other people have.
Yeah, that's where the quote, money doesn't buy happiness, comes from.
Yeah.
A lot of people who have it all then go like, well, now what? Like, what do I spend my money on? What do I do? I have everything I could want. And they don't feel happy. They don't feel content. Like you said, that's a great word. You only find that through Jesus.
Right.
And if you're constantly doing things in your life that are fulfilling and have a purpose in what you do that helps glorify God,
Yeah.
then you're going to be happy. You're going to be fulfilled. You're going to be content.
Yeah. In Ecclesiastes 5:10, it says, whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This is too meaningless.
So true.
It's true. You can't make money like something you envy. I always see like vision boards and like people will put cash on their vision board for the year. And I'm like, what? I'm not being judgmental. I'm being like, yeah, that's not going to fulfill you.
Yeah, and you're always going to want more. Like,
because right here it says, Jesus says it doesn't fulfill you. You'll
satisfied.
never be satisfied. So take that off of there.
Yeah, that's where so many people have so much greed. Even the people who have so much money, they just want more. They're not happy with what they have.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's, we do that too. We're like, oh, if we just had enough money to do this, we'd be so happy. But we really have to, we do that a lot.
Because once we do get the money and we do that something, like, we just move on to the next.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so bad.
And it's so bad. And we just have to reconnect with the original excitement for things that we already have and just remember the present and how fortunate it is that we are here right now in this moment. And something that the pastor said in the sermon was, make the season you're in right now your absolute favorite season.
Yes.
So make every season you're in life your favorite season, because that's something you're never, ever going to get back.
That really resonated with me. Because then if you're just looking forward the whole time and you're like, oh, I just can't wait till we have kids. And then you have kids. I can't wait till they get older. Oh, I can't wait till they're in college. I can't wait till they graduate. Like, you're just constantly looking for the next thing instead of enjoying the moment. And that was so true. I'm like, wow, yeah, we need to appreciate the season we're in.
Right.
Because there's something so special about each season you're in, even if it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a big realization I had is about anticipation. And I saw it because I just saw a meme on Instagram about like the anticipation of knowing you're going to go play golf is
Wait, you said this to me.
Is usually better than golf itself. And I also shared that with my parents and they completely agreed. They're big golfers as well. And I think it's not just a golf example, it's with anything. But yeah, the anticipation's so high. You're so, like we're saying, you're so excited for something. And then that thing comes and you don't enjoy it as much as you built it up. Like, enjoy it when you're in something you were anticipating. And that was a big takeaway for me, was I was like, as I'm anticipating something else, like another stage in our life, I remembered, I was like, wait, a few months ago, I was so excited, couldn't wait to be in our house. And now I'm in it. So why am I so focused on this other thing? Like, this was what my past self was head over heels for. So let me like keep that same emotion and turn it into thankfulness.
I know. If you really don't sit and really think about it, you will lose out on it. It really is so annoying.
So yeah, as I was journaling all this down, I thought of a challenge that I really want to do myself too. We've often been tasked, or I think tried to write down what we're grateful for. Like in a lot of prayer journals, it's like 3 things. That's what we're doing with the sticky notes. So I want to try this challenge, and I encourage you guys to not only write down what you're grateful for, but write down, it will be hard, it will be a long list, everything that you've ever been excited for.
Oh yeah, you said that.
Everything you've been excited for. That could be as simple as just these new shoes that you were getting, the Amazon delivery that was coming, a trip you went on, meeting a person, hanging out with a person, anything you've ever been excited for your life, because that list will pile up. Whether it was a TV you got at the garage sale, you were excited to use it, whatever, like you'll see, wait, oh, look at all these things that I was so excited to get. Be like, wait, let me like use them. Let me be grateful for them. Let me not focus about what else I can get, because look at what I have. I think that's very eye-opening to do.
That's like why I write down all my answered prayers, because I wrote down something else on my answered prayers in my journal the other day, and then I looked back at all the other answered prayers and I was like, oh, you forget about them. And that's another part of like the gratitude gap. It goes the same for when God answers our prayers. Like we want something so bad, or we just want like some clarity about something, or just a prayer request in general, and like God answers that prayer. But you always forget. You forget to thank God for answering that prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, write down what you're excited for and write down those answered prayers, because your life will go on and you'll forget all of the amazing things that God did for you that you were like uncertain at some point that were going to work out, and they totally did.
I want to reemphasize again, or we touched upon it, but really reemphasize that this fulfillment, this joy, this contentment can only come through Jesus. So no matter what you're chasing, you have to just chase him and you'll be more content.
Yeah.
And another good verse with that is Philippians 4, verse 11 through 13. I am not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. When Jesus is your foundation, all those problems just go away and diminish. Right. And then Colossians 3 verse 2 says, set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. So that's to re-emphasize the treasures of heaven versus on earth. Set your mind on him, not on what's down here.
Right.
Because he'll always provide too.
He's
so
always
just know
provided.
That. Yeah.
And he's always going to provide for you with no matter what season you're in. If you have faith and trust in him and you just stay in alignment with him and stay in his word, like he will provide for you. And there's even times where we haven't done that and he's still there for us, like taking care of us no matter what.
Yep.
So it's just really focusing on that, and it'll just make you like a more positive person. You just think of people who are always smiling, always unfazed by the negativity. They're always so joyful. And how do they do it?
Yeah.
They're just completely shifted their mindset to be just living with a grateful heart. And they focus on what they have, even if it's literally the air in their lungs or the ratty shoes they have or the ratty dog park. Being positive and just having Jesus in your heart is what makes you like live with a grateful heart.
Yeah. Just think for yourself about those people who are always positive, always uplifting, always happy. And I know we all have those in our life. So just think for a second. And I've thought this, like, wow, it must be exhausting to like always be smiling like that or whatever. Like, do they never have a burden on them? And it's like, how do they do it? Because that's their mindset. Like Chandler was saying, that's their gratitude. They're just grateful to be here, whether that's just that they're able to breathe. Mm-hmm. And I think it's more common in older people that you see that gratitude. I think older people are often more grateful. They've lived through life.
And who knows, it's because they probably didn't realize it in the moment when they were younger.
Yeah, when they were younger, they were probably chasing everything. And now they're like, wait, like, let me be grateful for my grandkids. Let me just be happy that I'm able to walk. And you said something so good when we were discussing this, like really good. And it's so true. I want you to say it though. Do you remember?
We're not grateful until it's gone.
Yeah, we aren't grateful for something until it's gone.
This also was what made me think of that. Was I saw this video of this girl on Instagram, and she is paralyzed now because she got in like a ATV accident or something with her friends, and she's literally like 15 and she's paralyzed now for forever. And she did post something and she was talking about it, and she was like, I'm so grateful to be alive, but I didn't even realize how ungrateful I was for the fact that I could walk, and now I'm paralyzed, and I didn't even think about it until it was gone. And I think that happens all the time, and it makes me sad. And I've been doing this lately too, is waking up and being like, oh, thank you, God, that I woke up again. Another day. Like, that is such a privilege to wake up and we have breath in our lungs again. Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy that we take it for granted every day.
Yeah, it's something we're celebrating for sure.
Any stuff can happen in an instant. When I got in that accident, I was like, oh my gosh, that could have been way worse. The paramedics were like, if the airbags didn't hit your legs, your feet would have been crushed. And I was just like, oh, thank you, God. Stuff can happen so fast. And that's why it's so important to live in the present, because you never know what the next day is going to hold. Ryan and I could get in an argument, but we need to get over that quick, because you never know what's going to happen the next day, and you never want to have like regrets. So no being negative or petty, because all it's going to do is drain you. It's going to drain your life, and it's going to drain the people around you.
Right.
Because it's going to affect them.
For sure. And walking's like a harsh example. Something I just thought of that we both do is, you know, when you're just so sick and it sucks and you're like, I just give it everything to just be able to breathe through my nose again. You're like, I just want to feel better again. But guess what? When we're feeling healthy, we aren't like, or at least I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm not sick. I can breathe. Like I'm healthy. So that's just an example of like, be grateful for what you have. Don't just be wishing you had it once it's gone.
That is a good one. The being sick. The day you start feeling better, I feel like you forget halfway through that. Like you are like, oh, I feel better in the
It's
morning.
like the
thank
best
God.
thing ever.
And then all of a sudden you're like
then,
used to being feeling good. And then it's just good to really reflect because every day is so precious. Every day is a blessing. And it's not just our days. It's like every day that the people around us are well and doing good. Like that is such a blessing. That's why it's so important for everyone to experience quality time or fellowship. Or if you have a problem with your friend or you have a problem with your relative, go fix it now.
Yeah.
Life is way too short and you need those connections. And that, we talked about this again, I say that every 5 seconds, but that grief or that negativity or anything you're holding in, like release that because you never know what the next day is going to hold.
And you don't want to have regrets later on in life.
Yes, and restore those broken relationships before it's too late because you don't want to regret the relationships.
Be grateful for the people in your life.
Yeah.
And this is just so eye-opening. Like I said, I've been aware of just this issue that we all have with gratitude, but it's still so hard. So if any of you guys want to give some advice, please let us know because it's just crazy. Like I can think of a million examples. Like when my foot was hurting so bad and I was just like, I just wish I could just walk, be active and not be having this terrible pain.
Yeah.
And now I don't. And I need to be grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so eye-opening.
Yeah, it's so good. Ephesians 5:15-16 says, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. I mean, look at the world around us. We literally live on evil ground everywhere. Like the earth is evil. And that's why it's so important to armor yourself with God because you'll be able to see the light in the darkness. You'll be able to see like the beauty of life itself and not take for granted everything that's around you or try and focus on just the negative things. What's the thing you said the other day where it's like someone could shower you with all these things?
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
This was actually, someone said this in the men's group.
Oh.
So I took it. But it was like you could go through a day, you could have 20 compliments, whatever, 20 good things, but one piece of criticism or one negative thing, whatever, and guess what you hold on to? You take that one piece of negative and that's what comes home with you. That's what you think about. Not all the great compliments or positive things that happen.
Yeah.
Like we often tend to hold on to the negative things. And that just goes back to shifting your mindset to be positive.
Right. And that's good because it's whatever you're feeding, you can feed those things, feeding the negative thing, talking about it, thinking about it, and it's just going to get bigger. But if you're just taking in, feeding the really positive things, that's what you're going to start focusing on. And that's what you're going to start putting on other people. Because I think that is a good example why when people don't feel good about themselves, they push it onto other people because they're constantly feeding the negative things that they feel with themselves.
Yeah.
And then it affects other people they're around. And so you don't want to ever put that icky stuff you're holding on to onto other people. You want to fulfill yourself with good things and love and joy and like peace because that's what you're going to be putting out and that's what people like to be around.
Yeah, everyone loves to be someone who's always so positive and encouraging and uplifting. That's just it. Be encouraging to each other, be positive and help. Like we help each other now that gratitude's very top of our mind. We'll help each other if we're complaining or something. Be like, wait, let's shift it back and be like, wait, we're happy that we have, like if it's something with work, this sucks. Wait, we love our jobs. We should be happy about it.
Yeah.
So we kind of help each other too. So that's
Yeah.
why having those good influences in your life is really important. And going back to what Chandler said about being grateful for people and those connections and how short life is, I wish I knew the context of this verse. So I'm going to go look at it. But it's James 4 verse 14 says, why? You do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes.
Literally.
Yeah, like basically saying, what are you? Like you're nothing. You're just
Period.
you're just there and then you're just gone.
We really are.
You don't know what's
We're
going to happen
nothing.
tomorrow.
Exactly. We're literally nothing without Jesus. You don't get the benefit of eternal life without him.
No, that's why you don't stress either, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but God does. You're not in control of your life. God is.
Yeah.
So don't worry and stress and let negativity feed your soul. Be happy to be here today
Be so
and
grateful.
do something with what you've been given, what gifts you've been given, what abilities you've been given, with being able to just live another day with the people who are around you. Be a positive influence to people. Go out there and go glorify God. Go serve his kingdom. Make the world a better place. Use what you've been given. There's people who won't be able to do things you can do. So use those abilities for the better.
Yeah. There's so many times where people don't end up like using the gifts that God gave them because they don't take the time to explore that. And I think that's something Brian and I are going through right now. We're really trying to tap in to spending time with Jesus because everyone has them. Like, you are giving gifts from God and he expects you to use them and ask him for what they are. Every day that you wake up and you're alive, that means that he is not done with you yet. He has a plan for why you're here and a purpose for why you're here. So try and find that out.
Yes,
right?
I'm really focused on that. And that's the topic of a men's group right now, is like spiritual gifts and abilities. And I've been struggling to figure out what I can use them with because a lot of mine are like physical. And someone in the group was like, well, I just don't know how I can apply it. Like, say one of my gifts is I can hit a baseball 500 yards. Well, how do I love people with that? How do I glorify God with that? And then people were chiming in. They're like, well, you can run some like church fundraiser baseball event, or you can start like a little league, or you can see some kids playing baseball as you drive by, pull over and like talk to them and like show them your skills. And like whatever you're doing with your life, your abilities, that gives you opportunities, that puts you around a certain group of people that other people can't reach. So like sports is a good example. You could be playing sports and those kids could be in awe that you can hit a baseball 500 yards. So they're going to want to go talk to you. And sure, you can try to teach them and coach them how to hit a baseball 500 yards, but also you can mentor them. You can share the gospel with them. Like, those are opportunities in your life. That's something I've been convicted of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how I can use what I've been given, because God shapes us all differently, that some people might not have the same abilities. So how can I use that for God and not selfishly? Because often we might be able to use our gift selfishly and just for our own enjoyment. And God wants you to do the things that pleases you and fills your heart. And it's just great to be able to find a way to love people with that.
Yeah. And there's so many limits we have where we live and stuff regarding like Jesus and Christianity. And I feel like that can sometimes hold people back. And there was a lot of times where I was put in like leadership positions and I was like, well, I wish I could share the gospel with people, but because of the religious rules or whatever that there are at certain places, that limits you. And so if that's something you're thinking about, the way I changed my mindset was like, I'm just going to act like Jesus and love people like Jesus and do all these things. And when I was a volleyball coach, I just did that. And without having to like preach, just be like how Jesus would. And these little girls would come up to me and be like, how are you like this? How are you so positive? How are you so good at like being nice and joyful? Because they're little, obviously. And I was like, well, I just have a really strong relationship with Jesus. And then they ask questions. It's not
So
something
good.
you ever have to put out harsh, like Carly was even talking about. She's like, all I had ever been around was pushing rules and religion on people and like thinking that's how you're doing a good job of spreading the gospel. And obviously I'm not one at how to spread the gospel, because it's still hard for me to even try and figure out how to do that in a world where we're so limited and we're unable to like really do that. The best way I found possible is to act like Jesus in those leadership positions that God is able to provide to you. And then people want to be more like you because they see the Holy Spirit and Jesus in you. There's always a way to spread what Jesus has, gifts he has in you, without feeling like you're so locked in because of the rules and laws that we have around the world.
And a lot of people are just seeking hope, and that's what Jesus gives us, is hope through salvation. So be the hope and be the light, like Chandler's talking about. If you go around and you're so positive, you're shining bright, people will want to have what you have. They'll be like, how is she doing that? Let me go talk to her. Like, they want to find that hope of like how to be happier, or saved. And then that's an opportunity right there. You can influence people just by being so positive and loving others, not just in your household, at work, at church, out in every circumstance. Just be yourself and be loving.
And we're still learning this. Obviously, we're learning how to be grateful, content with our life, be as joyful, peaceful, positive, as lovable as we can. And the secret to that is you can do all things through Christ because he will strengthen you. And that's Philippians 4:13.
Yeah.
13, we have it on the wall. Because we look at it every day because we're like, we can do anything. You can do anything you can set your mind to if you have the strength through Christ. The world is your oyster.
Oh, yeah.
You can do anything. Anything's possible. So that's the secret to all of this. And if you ask for it, God will give it to you. If it's in alignment with him, obviously.
Yeah. True.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know how long we've been talking, but
yeah, there's just so much to talk about. And once again, I'm going to bring it up again, but forgiveness is huge in this too. Colossians 3 verse 13 says, bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you have a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And that's once again talking about forgiveness and how Jesus does it for us. We should do it for others. And that can be a big thing holding you up from what we were talking about, like whether it's with people and like reforming those connections and just being grateful for those in your life. A first step to that could be forgiving them and moving forward so that you can move forward with gratitude. Because like these verses we've been saying, life is short. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So act now on it.
yeah, try and make this season your favorite season. Even if you could look back and be like, that was the hardest season of my life. I think back at that. Being in that Nebraska school was the hardest season ever. But I wouldn't go back and change it. I'm so grateful for that because it made me so strong in my faith. And it made me so strong as a person. And it really shaped you. So even if you feel like you're in a bad season, you're going to look back one day and be so grateful because you made it through and you were okay. And everything's going to be okay. So, woo!
Yeah, it's the big takeaway. Just make your season your best season and shift your mindset to be positive and grateful. And contentment can only come through Jesus.
Yeah.
So those are our big takeaways for you.
So good. Well, I think that's all we have. Do we have a challenge? I don't know what it is.
I mentioned it earlier in the episode. The challenge is to just make your gratitude grateful list, but just go a step further and write down everything you are excited for, have been excited for, item, trip, person, event, whatever. Just write that down, because even if that thing's past, like if it was an event, you can still be grateful that it happened and you were able to experience it. And a lot of the items, like we still have that right now. So that's something that will remind you of how excited you once were for it, and try to channel that. Like as you go through this, try to refill what you felt when you were like excited for it.
Yeah.
So that you can pull some gratitude out of it and live in the present. Don't chase after the next day, the next item, the next whatever.
Yeah.
Live in the present. So that's the challenge.
Also, another thing is I've been trying to do this, but instead of writing down things I'm grateful for that are like things or items, I've been trying to go deeper with it and be grateful for like traits or something. Like I'm thankful for love. I'm thankful for grace. I'm thankful for those traits that God created that like exist.
True.
Even if I don't obtain them every day, I'm just grateful they even exist. I'm grateful that character traits are even a thing, because that's what makes us all who we are.
Yeah,
so that's another thing you can try and write down what you're grateful for with that.
Yep. And then put into practice catching yourself in the future, slipping up on like being so excited for something. Don't get me wrong. You can be excited for something, but don't just keep chasing after the next thing, I guess. Catch yourself if you're negative about something, like flip it into being positive and grateful for it. Don't compare. Oh, yeah, that's another big point. Don't compare or envy.
No comparison or envy. These are just things, I mean, we're telling you guys about it because it's something we need to hear. It's something we're really, really struggling with right now as individuals. And we are like, well, we're sure other people are too.
Yeah, I think everyone does to some extent. Yeah. Some more than others, but I think really everyone does. So yeah, that's all we've got. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any things that have helped you in the past as well. We'd love to hear, because like Chandler just said, we're trying to work through this as well.
Yeah.
So help us out.
Or comment below what you're grateful for.
Yes.
As a good tool of practice of writing down things you're grateful for, really taking the time to think about.
Yeah. Support the podcast. Drop a comment. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. We post on YouTube and Spotify at Turning to Truth Podcast. And then we also post on Instagram, Turning to Truth Podcast. You can follow us there, and you can like and subscribe on our other platforms. And then if you have any questions or you want to give us advice, prayer requests, whatever it is, you can email us at voice@turningtotruth.com, and we will respond to you.
Yep. And for the Gen Zers, maybe Instagram's easier to just DM us
Yeah,
than pulling
true.
up your email.
True. So
You can do
anywho,
that too.
happy Valentine's Day. We love you
And
all.
drop your questions too for our Q&A that's coming up.
Oh yeah, true. We've been working on that.
But
So yeah, we love you. Have
enjoy
a great
your happy
week.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.